welcome to Living Out Loud Live. I'm Vicki. With me are my two amazing sisters, Laura and Jaime. Both are strong ally activists in their own right. They are my closest family and best friends. For those of you who don't know us, I have the honor of introducing my sister, Jaime, who is on the front lines of the fight for not only transgender rights, but social justice. She's the founder of Moms for Hope, an organization to educate and connect parents of transgender children. She's a public school history teacher, making the difference in the lives of the next generation every day, and is also the mom of 2 teen boys and 1 tween girl. Somehow, with everything she has going on, she still manages to join us at the table and help us change the world every week. Jaime, what are you drinking tonight, and how has your week been?
I am drinking wine as per usual. I am currently eating dinner. And it's been the week's been going by quickly. So I'm happy with that. And really nothing crazy this week besides prom. Still recovering from prom. I think it took me about 2 days. I don't remember who sent it. It might have been Lisa that sent, or maybe Dennis or somebody in our chat of how to recover when you're in your 20s the next day, and then 30s, and then 40s, and then it was like
at 50s they should just show a skeleton.
Yeah, I did get a kick out of, was it the 40s where it was like ET and he was like, stay. Yeah. So I think I'm still recovering, but it was a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I know we were going to talk about that. I get the great honor of introducing the exceptional and strong beyond belief, well-known, fierce as hell, LGBTQIA plus activist, creator of the Living Out Loud podcast with Laura, mother of 2 LGBTQIA plus daughters that came out in adulthood, reformed corporate Barbie who struggles daily with chronic illness and yet is here as a proud rainbow warrior. How are you tonight, Laura? What are you drinking? And what have you been up to this week besides prom?
Well, I am drinking a Happy Thursday in my beautiful new glasses that I got for a housewarming and anniversary gift. And because I feel like royalty in them, I decided I needed a crown to go with it this evening. And then I also kind of feel like the Statue of Liberty, like if I held it up, it could also be her torch. So, you know, I have a lot of feels to today. Let's see, this week, I too had to recover from prom, which means that it was a very successful event, I would have to say, if it took so long to recover from it, which is a wonderful thing. Like we all said, we're going to be talking about that later. Mainly, that is what I managed to do this week, other than I got to tell you, I'm 47. So, you know, I want to make sure things are really set up. I don't want to jump on new fads right away. So about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I got us some TikTok accounts. And I want to get on the bandwagon now that they've decided to ban it.
Yeah, right before they make it go away.
So, but you know, I never understood this, but this platform is all about basically sarcasm. I feel like I found my people. Like, what an amazing place to be so fucking sarcastic. So I basically, what do I do is I force John to do TikToks. So, you know, that's pretty much what I've been up to. So I get the pleasure of introducing our sister, Vicki. She is a newly remodeled transgender lesbian woman, wife of the gorgeous Lisa, stepmom to 2 amazing young men, a woke rainbow mafia liberal feminist with only one true agenda, and that is to end hate, spread love, and light. You know, maybe get some pixie dust in there as well. So what's in your cup, bitch? And how has your week been going?
I have wine. Jaime has converted me to a wine in the box bitch. So that's what we drink.
It lasts longer.
It does last longer.
And not as heavy once you're done. Yeah, that's like a cardboard box. It's not like a heavy bottle of wine.
Earth planet friendly. We're coming up on Earth Day.
It really is. My week was magical. My week had some good and some bad. My week had, I haven't announced it yet to you two, but I just got assigned to the LGBTQIA plus advisory council for the White Walt Disney Company.
Yay!
Congratulations! Pixie dust.
So
That's awesome.
I'm doing Pride Week planning, and my awards idea. So we're going to do a Disney Pride history celebration with icons from the company that have been with us. That got approved. So I'm going to be producing an award show for Pride Week. No pressure.
Ooh. A rainbow carpet instead of a red carpet.
It's not going to be like that. We have zero budget, so it's going to be. We might put down paper towels and then pick them up because we want to be environmentally friendly, you know. But yeah, so yeah, that's going great. I got to spend so much quality time with both of you. I'm glad we got a hotel at downtown. We'll get into all that as part of that, but the smile didn't leave my face all night. There was not a point where I wasn't so happy to be there. You know, and for a girl who didn't go to her high school prom because she didn't have a crew to go with, she didn't have a tribe to go with, she didn't have, and I was there with you and loved every minute of walking into all of us together, every minute of that. But all night people were like, Vicki, come have a drink with us. Come, Vicki, come sit, talk to us. And it was impossible because I was, you know, chasing Lisa all over the place. And, but yeah, what a difference gender makes.
You know,
Especially when it's what you're supposed to be.
I want to say something about prom, because I know it wasn't my first prom. I'd gotten to go to proms with John before, and John and I think Jaime are like the what do you call that? Like the experts, the VIPs of the prom world.
The prom
You know,
OGs.
the varsity. They're the varsity squad of the prom world. But I just want to give a massive shout out to Orlando Come Out with Pride and Tatiana for putting on such a wonderfully inclusive event. It was just, I mean, it really surpassed my expectations. So I just really want to just put that out there because the event was wonderful. And I've been to proms. That was so much better than any prom I've been to.
Agreed.
So sorry. Go back. And
All
back
together,
to
we
you,
are
Vicki.
queens. All together, we are queens of the overshare, especially when they try to take our rights away. We are a loveliness of ladybugs, and welcome all of our intersectional ladybug family and friends who are here every week. If you are joining us live or on replay, this is an opinion show. All of the opinions are our own, so you're going to hear some shit you don't agree with. You can join the discourse in the comments. Please do us a favor. Include your name because it doesn't always come through to us who you are. So, and people who try to troll us, we just block you. You know, we're explicit often. So parents, please monitor what your children are viewing. And we're not, you know, exactly toddler friendly. We're not going to be dangling, you know, colorful things. Although we have clouds now, which is kind of nice.
We have Tina Renee with us already and Barbara Williams. And I'm not sure which because they both just come up as Facebook users, but one of them is approaching their 1 year anniversary on HRT. Congratulations!
Yay! Fair warning, we're going to forget about you out of comment land. We kind of get involved in our discussion and forget we're doing a live stream. We will get back to it as often as we can. Keep those comments coming. We love them. This isn't a show. It's what happens when three sisters who are activist accomplices decide to change the world together. All right. Here we go. We're going to update the calendar for next week. You should expect some big things for Moms for Hope event news. Definitely some Pride celebrations we're going to be starting to line up. And coming soon, no announcement, a chance to join us for one of our karaoke nights. We have karaoke nights a lot to kick off the summer. So we're going to invite a few of you to join us and come and destroy classic rock songs and
Or anything else you want to sing.
or country or anything else you want to sing.
Nobody can sing as bad as me, so do not feel nervous or
No song
intimidated.
is safe in our presence. And with that said, let's jump into our first segment, which is all about our journey last Friday night to prom. So for both Jamie's husband, Dennis, and I, it was a chance to experience something that we both missed out on in high school. For me personally, it was gowns and choices of gowns, professional makeup, and planning to own the night with my absolutely amazing family. And it was an event that was I marked it as a transition of ending my transition. And, it was people keep asking me, was it everything I expected? It was everything I expected. Was it perfect? No, but nothing ever is. And that's the beauty of it. But the smile did not leave my face all night. And did we own the night? I don't know. What was our plan? Pride Prom, Ladybug Sisters, and our loveliness, we are going to own the night.
Cheers, everybody. Cheers. I can't see, but
I can't see.
So yeah, we kind of had a few shots before we headed out. It was amazing to walk in with squad, to walk in with family, to walk in so sure that I felt beautiful, which I don't often feel beautiful. Jamie, you were gorgeous. Laura, you were gorgeous. Oh my God. Lisa was gorgeous.
Yes.
It was.
Everybody was gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis was handsome. John was
always handsome.
A handsome
Dennis always
disco ball.
reminds me like he's going to be on the next cover of GQ. That's all.
That's his nickname is GQ man.
Yeah,
If the next episode of GQ is the disco ball, edition, he's all set. He rocked that suit.
Yes, he did.
Dennis and John were so handsome and amazing looking. All the ladies, we were just there on point. And it was, it was everything that I ever imagined prom would be like for if I had been where I was supposed to be all along.
The best thing about it is no one ended up in the bathroom crying with their mascara all smudged across their face.
True.
I mean, that didn't happen.
That would have not happened to me because the Miro from MAC Cosmetics literally lacquered the makeup onto my face. So smiling did require considerable energy, which is why I was probably so tired at the end of the night. But
look, I have my picture right here. I have it right here so I can look at it. I absolutely love this photo. So
I have so many to put up on the wall. What other expectations do we have going into the event? Because that's kind of interesting. We had talked about it for so long, and go ahead, Laura.
I was just waving to Erin. That's all.
She's waving.
That was my wave. She waved, so I waved.
For me, I didn't know really what to expect. I mean, I've been to prom before, but I've never been to Pride Prom. And there was actually a lot of people last year that were surprised that Dennis and I didn't go. And I was saying, and I had several conversations with people about this that evening, was that, we are a very big part of the community, but I always felt not that it wasn't appropriate, but that maybe we didn't belong because, Dennis and I are straight and cisgender. And so it was almost like kind of feeling like not out of place, because I totally feel comfortable and welcomed, but like maybe I didn't want to take away from anyone else's night. And the overwhelming response that I got when we were talking to people was like, no, you belong here. Like you really belong here. You are an active member. You know, speak up so loudly, and, you know, it's not just even about, you know, our kid anymore. It's about the entire community that we stand up for. So that made me feel really good. And, you know, I think that's why it was really special for me, and to see everybody and so many people. And like Vicki, I was pulled in like 8 million directions. I don't even think I barely saw Dennis. Like I saw this.
He waved at you occasionally. We saw him waving at you.
And he was so good.
I think our significant others did feel that they were often being left in the dust.
Yeah, but you know, I really love the movie Say Anything. And in that one scene in the party where John Cusack is always kind of just like popping up, like I noticed Dennis doing that. And so for me, I was like, I know he was there. And I was just like, look, I you know, I didn't even have to explain it to him. He didn't like question or anything. He was just like, you got to talk to people. But he was just like popping his head up, like, I see you, like a little meerkat, like all over the dining.
It was remarkably romantic. We're all married. We're all, you know, and we've all been married very long periods. And yet it was fun and flirty. And,
Definitely.
you know, every time Lisa puts on a dress and, you know, bedazzles some tennis shoes, it's spectacular.
That
and
girl
does that so well.
She needs to have a line where people can be like, I'm a size 10. Can I please have these? And she can custom make it with whatever like pride colors they want. You want pan colors? We'll put pan on there. You want ace colors? We'll put ace colors on there. What you want? We got it.
She's starting to work through, and we're going to start going through comps, you know, spoiler alert. I'll bury the lead. We're going to start putting together our online store. She's going to be helping Jaime with the momsforhope.org online store. So she's putting some samples together now. I think it's going to be pretty good. I mean, thanks to Laura and her graphic design skills, me and my no, put it on that t-shirt skills. No, we want the really soft jackets. We want the really super soft zipper jackets. I want a zipper jacket next. Okay, done.
Dennis basically hijacked mine. He takes it. I didn't wear mine today because I didn't know where it was, and I think I actually had to wash it because I wear it.
I very much like the pullover one, but they sometimes get a little tight on my neck and can make me feel like I'm being strangled.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fair.
And John, Lisa, and Dennis are also getting their own jackets.
They're like letter jackets. Oh my God.
They are. They are.
They're getting their varsity.
I never had a letter jacket.
I think the one on their sleeve, it should say, "Holy shit, they overshare."
That's perfect.
Or spouses of the oversharers. What, you know, something to that effect.
Do they shut up? No.
No. All right. Moving on with the evening. The next thing that we did was Uber over together, which seemed like it was going to be really difficult considering there were so many of us, but well,
let's do this.
Oh God.
We are ready. Laura's, where's the light? We need the light.
This is like probably the
I was
best
very
Uber
excited about my new portable light.
About the song, you are the DJ. Okay?
I'm the
You can
DJ.
play
Pick the
any
song. There you
you
go.
like.
Welcome to Living Out Loud Live in an Uber.
You see, I brought the light.
We're on our way to Pride Prom. We're all squished into one Uber.
Dennis is over here hiding.
It's okay.
I can do it.
It's okay. We got this.
Lisa's whistling DJ.
Marlon's taking good care of us.
Marlon's awesome.
We're heading to the Science Center. We'll see you there. Bye.
I was a little surprised when y'all had to get 3 of y'all in that back. This baby got a lot of back, and this baby's back couldn't fit out there with y'all.
So this was Disney Springs. We went out and Miro at MAC
Beautiful.
Cosmetics did our full makeovers, which was beautiful. I loved having lashes. Oh, I had so much. He asked how long of lashes did I want? I said, can they be like this far out? And he said no, but they went pretty close. So that was fun. This
Look
was
at
me
those
all tarted up.
Mhm.
And
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah, stunning.
I felt beautiful. I felt beautiful. And here we were in the elevator coming down, and the anticipation was building by this point in time, right? It was just like, ah, it's fucking here. Because for me, a year ago, I didn't know if I would actually even be out in the world and willing to go. It was a stretch goal, an idea of, well, maybe it's kind of a safe space to go, not knowing I was going to go, fuck it and be out and live my life, the best possible life I could live. But now I get to go to these things and really just enjoy them and take them for what they are.
And shine.
And Laura met me in the lobby. Jaime made a grand entrance.
A grand entrance.
She did. Oh, you were fucking stunning. Come on. You were, and you know it. Look at that.
There's a lot of leg there. More leg than I've seen in a long time.
That leg looked gorgeous though.
We were sisters. And you could see it in our smiles. In our smiles, we are absolutely 100%
was gorgeous,
sisters.
by the way. I was very envious of your purse.
The purse cost more than the dress.
The purse was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Not that the dress wasn't, but that purse.
Ross, thank you
notice
for all the
I know a
beautiful
good
prom
accessory.
dresses.
Thank you, Ross, for your clearance drop.
Thank you for your $20 quick clearance dresses.
Yes.
Yeah, this one was actually $13.99. And I rocked the fuck out of it all night.
Yes, you did.
And if it got ripped or ruined, I wasn't really too worried about it.
Yeah, same.
Vicki, somebody wants to know, how way are you?
Way the fuck too tall.
Well, the heels.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So in fairness, I was on platform 6-inch heels. The shoes were the most important, most expensive part of my outfit. And they were on clearance from Macy's. And I saw them, and I was going to wear a dress very similar, almost the exact same color as Jaime's. It would have been a little too weirdly matchy, and I didn't fit into it quite right. So I rocked the little black dress, which turned out to be very elegant, and I had a great time in it.
You
It definitely
can never go wrong with
swayed.
a little black dress.
I am 5'9". Well, no, I was 5'9" when I started my transition. I have lost a little bit of height. I go back to the doctor in a couple of weeks, and I will have them find out what my new height is. It happens, but I am good with it, actually. Hey, John, good to see you.
Laura, in this picture, your face is like, I'm owning this night. Yes, I am.
Yes.
And
like you just need a bubble.
What you needed was the crown there. If you needed the crown that night, because that was.
It's so funny because you know how you say like Dempsey doesn't like her ears, and if you can show her the most gorgeous photo of her, and she's like, I don't like my ears. So all I can see is my horrible shoes. I decided at the last moment I was going to go with heels, and the only heels that I had were basically trouser heels.
You were gorgeous.
That's all I can see, but I do like the smart. I love that though.
Fantastic.
Yeah, well, and this was make a silly face, and we did. So that was. We all got the same basic corsages. They were fake, so they'll last forever. They'll be good for next year. And Jaime provided these beautiful little ladybugs in them, which just made them special and unique to us.
Very cute.
It was a lot of fun, and
I love that photo.
That's a great photo.
Yeah, all night we were doing a 3-level thing. It was very strange, and it's not like we're that different in
because
height.
bitch,
It's
we
just
were wearing 6-inch fucking heels. Even when we had heels on,
Yes.
it was like, whoa. Like
Yeah, if I
felt
hadn't
like I was
worn those
looking up
heels
at
at the
the
last
night.
minute, I would have been like in Jamie's cleavage.
I had heels on too, and I don't even wear heels like ever anymore. And so that was like, I can't believe I had them on all night.
I
there's
did
another
take
picture.
mine off and we're walking around by the end of the night barefoot. I gave up.
Yeah.
You can see a little bit of Lisa's sparkly dress with
Yes.
all the colors in it. She had the perfect balance between our dresses and the guys' suits, and we were all like on point with what we were doing together. It was so much fun. Yeah. So here
She was so
Lisa is
excited.
trying
She
to
was
jump to
like,
get up to my
leaping
height.
lizards. I'm sorry, I had to throw the Annie thing in there. Leaping lizards.
I'm just so excited that I was actually able to capture her in midair.
Yeah, but
That's
look at the
such a
smile on
great
her
photo.
face too. We from moment one, we
Yeah.
were having a good time. It wasn't. Oh,
And look at
now,
that.
now,
Oh.
elegance, grace,
Me
and
too, man.
style.
You need to do that one where you can do the background eraser and like put that on like a like shimmery background of some sort to make it like just all more poppy.
Now I'm gonna call out Dennis because Dennis thought that this jacket was way over the top. He thought this was going to be a funny kind of, but
Yeah,
you
he
know
was
what?
very self-conscious about it.
It was fucking perfect.
He had got so many compliments. Everyone was asking him where he got it.
It was a statement of
Yes.
strength in the colors that it was.
Yeah.
It fit into that. I mean, just look at the background. He fucking rocked the theme.
He did.
Oh,
He
yes.
did. And he's always so handsome and just so amazing.
He's like,
Anyway,
he belongs in like Mad Men. Like he like has that whole like
we
vibe.
maybe need to do a Mad Men episode.
Yeah.
I would wear a swing dress. I might have a couple.
I have some. Oh, I could do my death rolls in my hair. Anyways, sorry, off track. We'll get back to that idea. Sorry, folks. Yeah,
Kevin.
Here's
Look
John,
at John with
the
the
ring
light. That's my phone he's holding too. He was trying to take a photo of us with the. Those are the. Isn't that the prize? Those are the prizes he won. Didn't he win?
You're just beautiful smiles. Great joy. Lisa throwing down. Again, we're doing a fucking 3-level thing. Lisa and Jamie are at the same level. And it's just slightly higher. And somehow I just fucking tower over everybody all night. The only person that was taller than me.
Look at those faces are pure joy. That is not.
Yes.
That's just pure joy.
Look at that.
More joy.
Mm-hmm. And glow necklaces.
And glow necklaces. I was telling Laura earlier. I mean, it really struck me this week. I've lost a lot.
I love Lee.
Lisa
She photobombs so perfectly.
She does. It she just fit it right in the right place too. You know, I've lost so many people and family this year, and I'm okay with that. It's not great, but I'm okay with that. But if I lost any of you,
we're not going anywhere.
But didn't you put like a homing beacon? Didn't you have one of those installed in our tattoos when we got them?
No,
I think you did. And Nicole is always stunning.
She is. And Royal Court. She was the queen, prom queen. Or I don't know what they called it.
Royal Court, yeah.
Royal Court. Yeah. I mean, just it was smiles from beginning to end. Scotty. He walked up and he had a camera and he's like, "Do you want to get a picture?" And so I pulled up my phone to do a selfie. he was going to take our picture with the fucking the Tyrannosaurus Rex with the sign in his mouth. And I'm like, why the fuck do I want a picture with something that's been dead for millions and millions and millions of years? It's not like he's going to, like it on my Facebook.
Now, you see, I have to say the Tyrannosaurus Rex for me, because when Kaylee was in elementary school, she was in Girl Scouts, and I was a co-leader, and we slept in the Orlando Science Center under that T-Rex. So that was very nostalgic for me. So
That's
I did
cool.
take pictures with it.
Once again, here's Andrea.
Aw.
This was that backdrop in the corner.
Yes.
Family. Laura had already left because she really had just really burned out. And we missed her, but we just, it got quiet so we could go do things. See, Tina is the
I got
only one
quiet because I left.
This is Tina and her wife. Amazing. Such a wonderful couple. We had so much fun. We need to hang out more with them because she actually lives close to us, but we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out.
Karaoke.
Mm-hmm. Again, this was a great picture of the Triceratops glow sticks.
Where did those glow sticks come from?
John won them.
Oh, he won those?
He won them. Yeah.
Oh,
This is Amelia.
Yeah,
No.
that's what I was saying, and I don't know if I got cut off. He won them. He spun a wheel and he won. Like everyone else just got to pick. I think I brought home glow rings or something for Dempsey, but Dennis got a ruler. John won.
Oh. Well, fancy.
And that was his prize, those big glowing poo noodles.
You can see how much I was paying attention. Oh, that's what you won when you got the dildo. Toss. The rainbow ding dong toss.
I'm sorry, YouTube. We'll take the explicit. We're good. When John took the dildo, yes, we don't need to talk about that ever again.
Bring around the dildo.
Moving on. This is Amelia. Amelia is actually very responsible for the three of us being together. Amelia was the one who I met in the Orlando online support group. And she gave me the Disney Slack channels where I met Deirdre, and Deirdre led to Laura, and Laura led to you, Jamie. So it's like this path of community, people reaching out and being kind when I was really just finding my way, that led us all together. And like I said, you bitches can't go anywhere. Yeah.
Honing beacon.
Honing. I still can't figure out how to do my arm, so
it doesn't work. No matter how you turn your arm,
it doesn't.
It doesn't work. You can't turn it any way to make it. It's like weird.
Yeah.
A dance move.
It's like a weird bat signal. We just have to.
Wee wee wee.
Okay, so at the end of the night, and I don't have the video, and
it's up on my Facebook.
Yeah. This was an earthquake simulator, and Lisa and I growing up in California, it was a really kind of shitty and weak earthquake, to be real honest. But we got up there and we were dancing. We were just having a good fucking time on the earthquake simulator.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted your world rocked. I just think I'm punny tonight.
I definitely had no interest in rainbow dildos. Anyways. Yeah, tonight's show is definitely, if there are rails here, we are somewhere over here. Andrea, family, love her. She is amazing. every time I think of our family, I think of her. Trans is magic, and it's true. Trans is magic. We are all not just touched by it, we thrive because of it and how it affects us and
Absolutely.
how it brought us together. I love this. So they said we had to get a picture together, the two of us who had never been to any prom before.
I
And
love it.
Dennis's face is priceless. And I think I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
It was perfect.
Either that or I was looking up into the cosmos. I'm not really sure. We were a few vodkas in by this point in time.
Oh,
Which is fine.
well,
We
it was
can
a
drink.
lot of vodkas in. And the only thing that I will say is there was definitely not enough food. And, you know, being sponsored by Tito's, there was a lot of alcohol flowing and there was not enough food. And I don't know whether it was because I was talking to people and didn't see the food, but there was really not a lot to eat. And so I was like really hungry.
I do know they put the food away very quickly. I thought they would have had it like through more of the evening, but it felt like if you hadn't gotten it when you were there immediately, you kind of didn't get it.
Which, I mean,
that
in
really
general,
should have been announced and
yeah,
publicized.
especially for the amount of alcohol people were drinking. I could have used a little bit of sopping up some of that alcohol that I was inhaling.
You know, and I believe a lot of people pre-gamed because while we were waiting for our Uber, there was like lots of people waiting for Ubers.
Mhm.
We heard a lot about pre-game.
Yeah, we had some white lightning before we got there.
I
Dark.
think this is my favorite picture of all of the pictures because the genuine joy on both of your face. First of all, you both look stunning.
Yes.
The colors and the balloons in the background were fantastic, but your faces and your smiles are.
And my hair held up. This was towards the end of the night, and my hair was still, up.
It's just stunning. It's my favorite picture of the night.
No. Next one. That is gorgeous.
I didn't even see that picture until you sent it to me earlier before the show. I
just got it.
Oh,
literally, they just sent it, and I'm like, oh fuck, and I grabbed them, but Jaime.
Yeah. Hey,
you were stunning.
Thank you. I'm going to put that one in a frame. I don't normally, I don't like pictures of myself, so I don't really have a lot of them. And so that one's going to go in a frame and it's beautiful.
There was a lot of the joy. There was a little bit of the sensual in your face, Jaime. You looked like you were having a prom night. Congratulations.
Yeah. There you go.
And you can see your ladybug so well.
Yes. I just
right
saw
there.
that.
Yes.
I will say that, we had to leave early in the morning after it too, because I had to get home to my medicine. But I took a picture because when I went out to the car, there was a ladybug on my door.
No way.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
That's what I thought. I'm like, oh my God.
So fitting.
So one final question. Are we going back next year? I think I know the answer to that. And if so, what should we do differently? I know limo is on the agenda.
Yeah, definitely limo, and we need to eat first.
Yes.
Well,
we
definitely. But honestly,
Jaime,
I still think we should
need to take that day off of work.
I did. I had the day off of work.
I loved having the hotel not too far from the event where we
needed that.
We stayed up way past our bedtime. We had so much
there's
fun.
a photograph that I have, which is not shared on the slide, of Vicki and Dennis passed out, me in the middle on the couch. Lisa took it.
It was a power nap. We were not passed out. It was a power nap.
I was. And then Dennis apparently got up and decided to moonwalk down the hallway in the hotel and got rug burn on the bottom of his feet.
He got rug burn?
I think so. I don't think he was wearing shoes. I think he was just barefoot. So, but it was a wonderful night and so many great memories. And I can't wait to go next year. And I definitely
we need to find more stuff to do.
The limo is a must.
Yeah, Lisa was talking about going back to Southern Nights soon, and I think she's finally coming to really appreciate and enjoy this community and how embracing and inclusive and
but it's so much fun.
Yeah.
We are.
So much fun.
So much fun. It really is.
I mean, literally being around people that have nothing but love,
Mhm.
because I mean, so many people that are at prom, I mean, especially at that Pride Prom, you know, a lot of them never got to go as their authentic self, with their authentic person they wanted to go with, dressed how they like, or any of those things. So you have a lot of people like Vicki living out their dream,
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
everybody is just so like watching people do that is just amazing. And no matter how much hate is thrown at the community, they somehow rise above it and just really let the love shine and
Yeah.
lift each other up. And it's such
There,
a
You can
honor
feel
to
it. It's
say.
there
palpable.
was,
You can feel it. It's
Yeah.
palpable. Like you can feel it. I felt it.
Yeah.
I've been to so many proms, but this one was so special because people were actually enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that was you actually nailed it exactly when you said, you know, there was nobody crying in the bathroom. Like that has always been my experience. Somebody fights with somebody, somebody's mad
Yep.
because they won't sleep with them on prom night,
Yep.
and like
Yep.
someone's drunk and throwing up. And so this was none
this
of
was
that,
beautiful.
all of the good and none of the bad. And
Yeah.
so it was really beautiful.
I mean, even think about the bathrooms, how crazy it was trying to go to a bathroom and nobody gave a shit. There was urinals and
Yeah.
men peeing while other people were in the stalls, and nobody
Yeah.
gave a shit and nobody
I-
died.
Adults can deal with it.
Yes. Yes. I got news for
Yeah.
you. Students, kids can deal with it too.
Yes, they can.
Fine.
They really
Nobody
can.
bothering anybody in the bathroom. Just gotta pee.
All right, I'm gonna wrap this up because we're gonna get to our next segment. But I would just like to say, thank you both. You have been part of two major milestones in my life: getting to wear white and a wedding dress through a renewal ceremony that was by far one of the best memories of my life. You've been the core of so many of those things that I've learned what it really means when it says some women's memories are written on their heart. I've had some really strong. I'm not going to play the bumper, damn it.
Oh, you need to play the bumper.
I've fine. Fuck it.
That is so
Oh my
perfect.
God, I love it so much. Oh my God. You have to have that on standby because
Yes.
you pretty much
it's
have one of
there.
those every episode. And so it's now kind of gonna be like a bumper
Yeah.
that happens every show. Just saying.
Yeah.
And I love the song. Dun,
Yeah,
dun.
I
Oh,
it's so
It's so the more you know.
yes, the more you know.
So getting to have a real ceremony of love and recommitment with everybody around us, and Dempsey being such a part of that, and Dempsey made me cry more than I can't even listen to her speech without tearing up because it's so beautiful and loving. And Laura, oh my God. I mean, I can't watch the wedding video. It was so much beauty. And then getting to go to prom and getting to go through merely 1.5 million gowns that I bought either online or at Ross.
And she's not lying. I think she had about 18.
I'm going to build an entire new wing of the house to house my gowns.
Fair.
We
I
need
would
to
like
find
to
shit
know
to
what
wear
the
gowns
theme
too.
is for prom next year so I can start deciding what I want to wear now.
Hey, just hit up Tatiana.
Tatiana, let's hit up
Robin.
Tatiana.
Yep. Somebody will
All
know.
right. Till next year, Pride Prom 2024. Thank you, ladies. I love you both more than I can say.
We love you.
Okay, so this was a request from Laura last week. I
I'm
don't
gonna
know
put
if
a
I'm going to
timeout
make
for a second. I'm just gonna grab a refill and I'll be right back. Okay.
At least she's not remodeling part of the house.
Not yet. That will come later.
And
She's gonna make some
grading-
homemade ice cream while she's in there.
Yes. So the request was to replay my speech from Transgender Day of Visibility. I'm going to play it. We are going to just talk through it as we go through it. The whole thing, if you want to watch it without us talking over it, is available on our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/livingoutloudlive, all one word. But we were going to.
Or if you really, really like TikTok, it is also on our TikTok broken up into 3 different segments. The one view, like, listen, we only have like 300, followers, but the one of the 3 has over 7,100 views. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we've been doing pretty well with the show. Overall views, we have that's all over the place, so it's easy for people to find. And we don't make money from it, and we're not planning to. We do this because we want to change things. So here's where I got involved with changing things, and I have to thank Shelly, who reached out to me about 3 months ago, and said, I'm running this thing. Would you like to speak? And I didn't at the time know that it was only supposed to be like a 5 to 7 minute speech. So I wrote a lecture.
Well, to be fair, anybody that invites you to speak needs to make sure they immediately just assume any intro is going to be 5 minutes and then allow you another 20.
Me?
But as you all are going to hear, she captivates the audience the entire time. So there's a difference between listening to somebody drone on and getting to listen to somebody captivate the audience.
That's going to be my next speech. Get your drone on. All right.
Of her journey, the transition, and a life she dearly loves.
There's
my friend Vicki. So thank you.
There's our Shelly. Love you, Shelly.
And I do apologize. I'm the one recording, so my mouth is the closest to the microphone.
But I could hear you up on stage, and I could hear both you and Jamie. You were sitting so close.
My name is Victoria, Vicki with an I, and sometimes even Vix at the Mickey Mouse place I work. I am a transitioned transgender female with she/her pronouns. I was a late in life transitioner, and as many of you can relate to, I struggled most of my life to conceal who I am. I tried to live what the world wanted me to be for more than 4 decades. The first thing I asked Shelly was when I was offered a chance to speak today, how long would I have to talk? 20 minutes, an hour? Could I do a side symposium? So I'm going to try to compress a lot into a few minutes. Please bear with me. First of all, I truly consider my story to be a fairy tale, but a grim-like one. In those fables, the princesses almost always have to face so many things: curses, abandonment, imprisonment, death or near-death experiences, and always some form of persecution from wicked stepmothers, witches, or just others that seek to destroy them. My t-shirt today reads Transgender Princess. I transitioned because of gender dysphoria, and I stayed because of love. That is my personal truth.
Thank you, Lisa, for making the shirt.
I just love that.
But to understand that, we need to go back to the beginning. Every great fairy tale starts with what? That's right. Once upon a time when I was 7, I was badly beaten repeatedly by a very aggressive girl named Samantha. She was upset because I wanted to play Barbies with some of the other girls during recess. I knew who I identified with, who I wanted to be around as friends as far back as I can remember. Now, I never got to play with Barbie. There was some unspoken girl code that stopped that from happening. But up until then, I was allowed to play with a very old, obviously handed down ginger. Please note the red hair.
Yeah.
I was also sexually abused when I was 5. I don't talk about the details anymore because after years of therapy, I don't give that monster or his actions any more power in my life.
I decided to just use my normal.
However, the combination of sexual abuse combined with a UFC level beatdown from a prepubescent turf created a very withdrawn, lonely child who escaped into her imagination and kept to herself most of her life. A friend of mine who was an amazing Imagineer and speaker once told me, if there's an elephant in the room, sit its ass down for tea and then deal with the big T. So I'm going to bring up the traumas of my past because many of you might believe that is the reason I am what I am. Nothing could be farther from the truth, and I have years of very intense work in therapy to prove it. In truth, I shouldn't be here. It took many of what I consider to be miracles to be here to stand in front of you today. So my princess fairy tale starts with me living under the curse of trying to perform being a boy when I didn't fit in that world. For most of my childhood, my parents worried about their son. Trauma and fear triggered a lifetime of horrific nightmares, so I slept very little. I had emotional problems, school problems, and I just lived in constant fear because of threats from death from my abuser. I was sent to numerous child psychologists, hypnotherapists, even an in-house study at a prominent children's hospital. I wouldn't open up to anyone. I couldn't risk it.
It's funny
Not
how even
having
as a
friends,
child, you know when a therapist
a
is trying
best
to
friend,
probe and get something out of you.
Any
and you
real
just
connections
shut up.
is what hurt the most.
Even as a little kid.
So
Yeah.
as Vicki, internally, I became my own caretaker and babysitter. And yes, my name was always with me. Decades of cross-dressing in secret, tremendous guilt, wondering why I felt compelled to express in that mirror, even just to myself, and just to feel right for a few moments. Praying constantly that God would let me wake up a girl. But to be clear, this started long before puberty. I did my best to suppress it and to try to live how everyone around me expected. My life and relationships with other people were very difficult. I had no long-term friends and even very short-term marriages.
Yeah, I was married twice
I
before.
repressed myself pretty deeply when my gorgeous wife, Lisa, came along. We were already together almost a decade, which was a record for a relationship for me, by the way. When my brain finally felt safe enough to deal with everything I had imprisoned in myself for so long. So I hatched about 10 years ago. For me, that was an immediate and terrifying realization that I really was, at least mentally, the girl that I had prayed to be. And immediately I told my wife. My self-realization touched off a 9-year Cold War. Vicki stayed in the closet and was seldom discussed. The rest of our marriage was fundamentally broken. She hoped it would just go away. So did I. For those of you playing Grim Princess Bingo, to recap my story so far, I was cursed. I was largely alone in a deep, dark closet. And who I really am was all imprisoned Rapunzel style, way up in this tower. I honestly thought my life and chance for happiness were gone. The first place I turned was to the church. Yes, I am a woman of faith. I arranged for a meeting with one of the senior pastors in one of the mega churches we were attending, and was immediately told not to come back until I was better. He didn't even take the time to pray with me. I then tried 6 months of online prayed away
And
meetings.
yet, Vicki
Obviously,
still
that worked.
has very much love for her faith.
No, hatched is hatched.
Well, I did go to Prayed Away camp. We learned Prayed Away songs like, you know, don't be happy.
My iPad just went funky.
Don't be who you are.
Finding no answers in the church, I got very suicidal. I'm glad the suicide prevention group is here today. And I ended up in an online crisis chat. I was very lucky to find a therapist who convinced me to work with her rather than end my life. 7 years, 2 hours a week therapy with a kind soul, and no mom and dad. She didn't put the idea that I was transgender in my head.
I love that you put that in there.
Yes.
Had to.
She actually had no agenda at all. She just tried to keep me alive.
And
For the
that's what
first 3
every
years, I
parent
tried
should
to make
want
my
their
gender
child
dysphoria
to
go
love.
away. Finally, I
Whatever.
accepted this was not a result of the trauma, and I was not going to change back to something I never was.
That was my last holdout, that the trauma had somehow caused this, and that I could, if I could deal with the trauma, that it
So
would
the
go away.
therapy focus became trying to learn to live as Vicki in permanent boy drag. Again, my request.
Stupid request.
Her husband, who was an herbalist and tribal shaman, put me on an ultra-low dose of herbal estrogen to try to help balance out my brain. It did help a little. I was less suicidal, but I wasn't happy. I learned to shave by Braille, and I hated mirrors and being in photos. How many of you can relate to that? Then the world got even darker. COVID hit. And life as we knew it changed, and definitely not for the better.
I'm pacing like a stand-up comic. It's
my
very
therapist
strange.
just cut off contact.
That's a sign of a pro.
I wondered constantly, what did I do to drive her away? I started drinking alone,
I do.
more and more. And once again, I was frequently thinking about taking my life. I had a noose and a stool.
I think I was
that at
afraid.
least
I wanted to be a
found
moving
me
target
one
if I was
step
going to be a
away
target.
from ending it
just-
all. When you
Visually,
don't have hope, how
it-
many of us
I
end
know
up in the
for me,
darkest places
keeps people
simply
engaged.
because of the negative attitudes of
actually keeps
others?
them awake. Because if I
Sadly,
just stood
for
and
those of us who are transgender, there
You kinda
is an
have to-
answer. More than 40% of transgender adults in the US have attempted suicide, and
That is-
unacceptably more children.
Yeah, it's 46% of kids. That is totally fucking
So there I
wrong.
was.
That's just
Really at the
wrong on
lowest
every
point of my
level.
life. Cursed, lost in a deep dark closet, trying to mother gospel my ass away from the world forever. In reality, waiting for a divorce that I was sure was coming, and surprisingly abandoned by
Almost
my
cried
therapist's
there.
lifeline. I need to make something clear. At no time were my wife and I, Lisa, enemies. We just had no closeness, which was devastating because before I hatched, we truly believed we were absolute soulmates and totally in love. Lisa is an extraordinary woman. She was trapped in what seemed to be as much of a nightmare as I was. On the rare occasions I made it to bed before I passed out drunk, I prayed for death and was overwhelmingly disappointed to wake up the next day.
That's
I'm gonna go a
not
little
in
Princess
existence.
Bride on you and let me know.
No.
I didn't die. You can see that. You all look a little
I didn't
confused.
die.
I made it through.
I'm very grateful.
Is there anyone out there
Me too.
in that place? If so,
Every
please
day is a
let me
bonus.
offer you some hope. Something always intervened and held me back. Only one person other than myself, Lisa, and my therapist knew I was Vicki, my newfound family brother Norm. He saved my life simply by answering the phone so many nights when I already had that noose around my neck. And somehow, when I wasn't going to reach out, he knew it and would text or call. Miracles.
It's true. That literally is a truth. That
One light in
it's one of the
darkness
reasons I
is
believe in
sometimes enough
miracles is
to help you
because
hold on day
I
to
did
day. I
him,
love and appreciate
but I
him
still got it.
deeply. But how did I get from the lowest point in my life to happily ever after? How can I stand in front of you today and tell you I will never be suicidal like that again? Well, sometime around September 2022, I developed a hard lump in my right breast. And my immediate reaction was joy, thinking I had developed breast cancer. That's how down I was. I considered a potentially
It's not often
life-ending
you get to
horrible
get away with a
disease
breast
as God
cancer
being merciful
joke,
to me and answering
but
my
that's how
prayers for death.
much of a fool I was at that
wasn't the
point in
prayer God
time.
was answering. Please believe me when I tell you I'm not trying to preach tonight. I am a woman of faith, and I must include that as part of my journey. So, cursed, lost, alone, seemingly abandoned, and now impending death, welcome or not. Who has bingo? Like a bolt out of the blue. 3 weeks later, the same lump appeared under my nipple on my left breast. Now, I'm not a doctor, but I knew that was unusual for breast cancer. Fellow ladies out there, what uncomfortable and ouchy thing happens to our chests during puberty?
Buds.
Breast buds. A quick trip to the doctor and some lab tests confirmed it. My body was sick of living in an abusive relationship and decided it was time to transition. Not a choice, but the beginning of a process of growth and healing. I was a middle-aged woman going through a second puberty. As soon as the words left my doctor's mouth, that was the truth of it. I was in transition. I seriously started considering walking through the looking glass. What would it mean to me to live authentically? The changes on even a microdose of medical HRT were dramatic. I stopped having suicidal thoughts. I haven't been blackout drunk once since. I started really looking forward to the changes, feeling like my brain was finally right. Emotionally, it was like going from a black and white television to a color television. Every thought started filtering through the emotional dictionary I found locked away in my brain. That final switch was thrown. For the first time in my life, I liked who I am. I wanted to live the rest of my life in truth as Victoria, whatever cost that meant. Then I got another shock. I received a call from the grown son of my therapist, who had closed down her practice after she and her husband had both passed away from COVID. He had contacted everyone in her patient management, whatever it
The
is.
entire
but
crowd,
she
if you can't
never
hear it on
entered
the
me in
playback,
it.
the entire crowd.
I was the only patient she ever treated pro
They
bono like she did,
understood
but
that
she
she
did
didn't ghost you,
detailed
that
notes
she
about
died,
me in her
and
practice journal.
she
He shared how
kept
fond she was of me,
your
how determined she was to help me find peace in whatever
journey
life I choose,
private,
and how
protect
secretly
you,
she
but
hoped
really
that someday
sincerely
I
wanted
would
to help
transition
you.
and really find peace as Vicki.
Turned out she did hope I would transition, and that's what was
So,
happening.
Dr. Jane, wherever you and your husband are together, I hope you see, I hope you are proud, I hope you know how much you did that cleaned up the past hurts and helped prepare me to live proud and happy as the woman I always was. I said at the beginning, transgender princess, I came because of the dysphoria and I stayed for the love. Living in the sun as myself, makeup, dressing in clothes that fit my gender identity, and all the changes to my body that have allowed me to better align my inside and outside identity, pale in comparison to the greatest joys I now have in my life. Most people don't realize how truly transformative it is to be loved and accepted unconditionally for who you really are. My wife and I just had a recommitment ceremony. New Year's Eve. We are closer, happier, and equal. I know that's not a word, but it sounded better than equal because it's not what we have, total equality. Most marriages don't survive transition. We are thriving and growing in love, and back where we always thought we were, soulmates and each other's true love. When I came out, my amazing boys and their soon-to-be wives immediately affirmed and accepted me as well. That alone should be enough for happily ever after, but this princess is truly blessed.
I was going to say bitch. You're right, Laura.
I lost most of my biological family. No, that's
People
not
are
why
cheering.
They aren't that bad. The blessing is the people who come into your life when you are living authentically. The depth of love and strength of the bonds of found family. Now they hear me tell them and how much I love them and appreciate them all the time. They can't shut me up when I'm gushing about them. But I'm going to talk about them now because they were key to my final transformation. My family now includes a real-life fairy godmother named Deirdre, who helped me overcome my fears of coming out at work and encouraged me every step of the way. She even stood up for me as my surrogate mom at our recent recommitment. When I started posting about all the wonderful changes in my life, she decided I needed to be on her friend Laura's podcast. With a wave of her instant messenger wand, she just made it happen. Laura, by the way, was just as surprised to have me as a guest.
It's true.
But from the moment we met, Laura and I became seemingly instant forever, period. Eventually, we decided to do a live web stream on Facebook and YouTube Wednesday nights called Living Out Loud Live. On episode 3, Jaime joined us as a guest and became our co-host instead. Again, instant kindred, instant forever. They are beyond exceptional women activists in their own right, and the three of us somehow went from friends to sisters. The little girl who just wanted to play Barbies grew up, grew some new body parts, but more importantly found her tribe, her truth, her real heart, and her voice. The love I am now capable of, the depth of friendship I can feel, the strength that I found as a woman, a wife, a mother, a sister, a ride or die BFF, aunt, sister-in-law, partner in crime, cousin, friend, or even just member of this LGBTQIA plus community after transitioning is beyond what I ever thought I was capable of.
Woo!
I told you about the things most grim fairy tale princesses had to face to find their happily ever after. But the truth is, all of the trials and evils meant to stop this princess from reaching her happily ever after taught me to be brave, resilient, and stronger than I ever was before. I am Victoria Togia, feminist activist, living out loud. It's not just about my survival anymore. It's about living my happily ever after for and with the people who really love me for me.
Woo!
It's about changing this world for the better, not just for those of us who are trying to embrace who we are now, but for the next generation who should not have to suffer the blatant lies and bigotry that we are fighting today. The conservative narrative, which is about the dehumanization of LGBTQIA people, not just transgender people, stopped here, stopped now, stopped forever.
I hope DeSantis heard that.
Each of us has to draw a line in that beach sound
Randy
down
Fine
the
did.
road and be ready to
fuck that
defend it
little
with our
twerp.
truth. We must protect transgender children
Fuck Randy
and their
Fine.
parents' rights just to keep them alive, not because we want children or
Opinion
anyone else to deal with gender dysphoria. You can't claim you care about parents' rights and other people's rights when you constantly try to take them away. That's called tyranny, not patriotism. To set the record straight, there are no credible cases of cis women or children being attacked in public restrooms by real transgender women. There is no attempt to indoctrinate children into being transgender. If they are, and they were made that way. Discovering who they are and getting help may be the only way to keep them alive. The false "we are protecting children" excuses used to justify taking our civil rights away are weak, and people are seeing through them. We need to keep exposing the lies louder and louder until the message gets through.
Woo!
Those of us that have gender dysphoria, we don't want to destroy our country. We are just clinging to our God-given constitutional civil rights to exist in it.
Amen.
My sisters and I call ourselves the Ladybug Sisters. On one of our early shows together, I had this stock footage bumper clip of two ladybugs having sex. I did honestly find it by accident. One looks like she would rather be finishing her laundry while the other is behind her twitching in, well, ladybug bliss, right? We laughed so hard the first time I played it, it just bonded us more. A family of ladybugs is called a loveliness of ladybugs. All of our newly extended and amazingly compatible families are part of our loveliness, the core of a shared joy, stronger together, forever sisterhood. We've got the tattoos to prove it.
Woo!
Transgender or ally accomplice, wherever you are in your journey, I encourage you to find your loveliness. Find it inside find it inside yourself, find it with others, and then fly.
Woo!
Let that loveliness shine. Share your stories. Show your joy. That is our strength. We can and will change the world for the better when we dare to shine.
Woo!
Gender dysphoria may have led you here today, but let love carry you forward.
Love the God!
Yeah. That was my Harvey Milk moment.
That was perfect.
That was everything that I needed to say ever. The Imagineer that I talked about, his name was Randy. He died, and he did an amazing lecture called The Last Lecture. I worked with him on VR systems at Imagineering that were in an attraction here in Florida for a while. He was on loan from Carnegie Mellon, where he was an instructor, and he died of a very aggressive cancer and fought it as valiantly as he could. But they had a lecture series there called The Last Lecture. What would your lecture be if it was the last lecture you ever were able to give? And not knowing what tomorrow brings, I wanted to make my statement to the world so that it would be there forever.
It's
And I
very
wanted to help
brave of
others.
you to be able to stand up in front of so many people and tell your story so openly and so willingly, because that takes a lot of courage to be able to put all that on the table.
Well, I'm gonna tell you a story behind that, and you know it, but the other people here really don't. In my previous life, I was adopted by a 5-year-old. He and his mother would come down from, they lived 4.5 hours away north in California. We met them through an online Disney group. They would come down, and Lisa and I would meet them and go to Disney with them. We really just got along. We were friends, good friends. And I would always spoil the kids with lollipops.
Not you.
And they eventually just got to be called Colty Pops because his name was Colton. And so Colty would, tell me what lollipop he wanted, and I would get it for him. And sometimes he would find a bigger one, and he'd get that one too. So as he was sitting there, literally getting everything in his general vicinity sticky as shit, he looked up and said, "Mom, what is my old name to us?" And he was really concerned about it for a 5-year-old. And Janet, my sister-in-law, looked down at him and said, I don't know. He's a really good friend, because I was he back then. And you could tell that was not acceptable. That was a conundrum. That was a hurt. That was not, that was a wound that was not going to sit well. And he suddenly said, "That's not good enough." So Janet looked at me and said, "I guess he can be uncle." And Colty said, "Yeah, that's good." And that was my first experience with found family and being adopted. The heart of a child, right? He later committed suicide when he was 11, and the world is a lot darker because he's not in it. My sister Janet and her family still accept me and are amazingly loving. But I got a text out of the blue that morning from his older brother. "Aunt Vicki, can we have a FaceTime with you? Haven't heard from him in 7 years." Sure. His cousin, who is the same age, just about the same age as Colty, just turned 18, and they went and got tattoos. And they got the little Mickey lollipops with Colty on them. So I knew my guardian angel was with me, and I can be very honest and tell you, I had not one nerve walking up on that stage. And I haven't given ever an address like that before. I've never talked to people like that before. But I knew I had a guardian angel with me, and I had a job to do. My dearest, fondest hope is that we are going to be around forever, for years and years and years and years and years. Golden Girls, fucking living in a house with cheesecake, bitches. And I will not be disappointed if that happens, if we all end up in the same place somehow, somewhere. I'll be disappointed if we don't.
I better get started in making some cheesecake.
Yeah, I think we'll buy it.
No, I don't know. The
Yeah,
last
I really think
What?
Jamie that's her love language, I believe.
I know, but I haven't actually gotten to make you an actual cheesecake. The last one I made, no offense, Lizzie, if you're watching, was a vegan one and didn't have any fucking cheese in it. And so
It was
that's
actually pretty good. I
well,
liked it.
I need to make a cheesecake. Like that is my thing. I just haven't had, in fairness, I haven't had a fucking moment to do anything besides.
I know you got to remodel the house after this. We know. We're gonna get you going soon.
Before we close for the evening, I just want to say something. You know, I talk often about the fact that this is a journey for growth for me, and God knows this is not who I was 10 years ago.
Amen
And
to that, sister.
yeah. You know, in 2018, when Ruth came out, one of the hardest things, I wasn't sure if I was ever going to be able to think of her any other way other than her birth name. And we all know why I don't like to say dead name. So, by her birth name. And, you know, the most amazing thing happened today. I happened to run into Robin at the chiropractor's just by accident. So, you know, happy accident. And we decided we were going to go run and get coffee. And she was trying to understand how things were. And I was explaining like I needed to figure out where to vote and everything. And she said, well, you know, you can just vote early. I said, oh, I'm still a little too Republican for that. I still have like trauma, like where I feel like I have to go on the day. And then she asked, you know, how I started changing and everything. And then she asked for the story of Ruth. And it was so funny because it was the first time where in the past I've always dropped back into using the birth name and the pronouns whenever I'm explaining past. And I said it and I just said, I don't like that. I can't do that anymore. And it just felt right.
Yeah.
And I want to say back in 2018, I didn't ever think I would be able to figure out how just to switch it on a daily basis, and to be at the point now where thinking of her any other way just doesn't feel right to me is amazing. And I want everybody to know, no matter where you are, you can continue growing every day and continue getting better every day.
Yeah, I was an independent voter, and we all recently took that where do you fall on the political scale, and Jamie and I, of course, were so far off.
In fairness, you were an independent voter. I've always been left.
Yeah, no, and now you and I are so far to the left, we're almost all the way back to the right. We actually,
we like fell off of the spectrum.
Yeah, we fell off the flat earth almost. There's dragons here. Anyways,
oh God, we're
Jamie,
at 120.
Yeah, you have always been the beacon that has taught us and shown us the way. And
I'm no beacon, bitch.
You are.
I'm just living my life like everyone else. That's it.
Right.
Like
but we learn a lot from you as our historian, as our sister, as our best friend, as our everything. We love you. I love you both.
I do. And I love you both. And this has been another wonderful, wonderful episode. I just sent an SOS to my husband. I need more wine, please. And so I wrote help. And he was like, help.
I'm grabbing the box. I'm on the way. I'll be there in a few minutes.
It's like the
bad signal.
One.
The bad signal's up.
Oh, here comes Dennis with the wine. He's taking my wine glass. I love you both. I am going to sign off only because, it's been an hour, 20 minutes. So,
yep. I'm just going to roll the titles. Love you both.
Love
see you
you
next
too.
week. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next week.